In this video, we will do a history passage and a paired passage reading walkthrough. My name is Katja Sieberson. I'm the inventor of the Sieberson method, a scientifically proven way to learn anything fast, especially to learn how to read correctly on the SAT. So I'm getting so many requests from you chickens. Please do a history passage. Please do a paired passage. Please do a history passage. So I'm giving in and I'm giving you a history passage, which is also a paired passage. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone, and I'm going to drop the link to the passage below this video. Please either download it or print it out so that you can follow along. For right now, I'm just going to talk to you about three major challenges that history passages present. Challenge number one is vocabulary. So many of you are not really developing your vocabulary. You may not know words like enfranchisement, sovereignty, condemn, contempt, and, well, you have two solutions for that. You can either buy my book, the new SAT vocabulary workbook. This is a wonderful collection of all of the words that keep coming up over and over again. And the second way, if you don't want to buy the book, wait for the book to arrive, there's also a course on siebersonmethod.com that teaches vocabulary. I will do a video that covers 5 most popular verbs that show up on history passages that you need to know, and I'll link it up above here. And make sure you study the vocab. That is your main big predicament. Predicament is a vocabulary word, which means an obstacle. And that is your big obstacle. If you don't understand what the author is saying, or maybe you don't understand what the answer choices are saying, if you don't know what concede means, you are unable to answer the question about author's concession. But I'm sure you guys know what concede means. The second major obstacle of history passages is length of sentences. Even though you may be a voracious reader, but if you haven't done a lot of reading with original sources, you may not be very well versed with reading complex sentences that are 60, 70, or sometimes 80 words long. And we're going to work on that today. I'm going to show you how you can quickly preview your paragraph, analyze your sentences, and how you can derive meaning from them. And the third obstacle of history passages is complex questions. What a lot of my students like to spend a lot of time on is understanding what the passage is saying. And sometimes that is not what the SAT creators want from you. They don't want your overall understanding. They would rather want you to be going from questions to specific parts of the passage, finding evidence, finding the reasoning, and then going ahead and answering. So if you're finding yourself maybe rereading a particular verse from the Bible, or trying to understand like a cultural reference or a reference that was understood back in the day, you need to drop that. I need you to really, really, really focus on the questions, especially on the history passages. So without any further ado, I think I gave you enough time to print out the passage, and let's go. I know many of you wondering, like, why is this a PSAT passage and not an SAT? I chose this for a reason, because I don't want you to waste an SAT passage while you're practicing here with me. And this is just as rigorous, and you have 10 questions for this passage. So don't think that this is in a way easier or any way simpler than you would get on the SAT. It's comparable, and it's good training for you guys. So let's do this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read the blurb, and I'm going to read the questions that pertain to the very first passage. Only the first passage. I'm not concerned with the second passage yet. So we begin by looking at passage 1 is adapted from an Independence Day address delivered in New Harmony, Indiana by Francis Wright. Okay, what are we being asked? Question 28, the explanation in lines 1 to 17 primarily emphasized the qualities. So from here to here, I'm going to have a question. It's going to be question 28. As used in line 31, obtain most nearly means. I'm going to go here. I'm going to highlight or underline the word obtain. And then question 29. This is going to be a VIC, which is vocabulary in context. Then Wright suggests that key qualities of a person who contributes meaningfully to society is the. Okay, so the reason I'm circling this is because these two questions are together. These are the line references. So when I'm solving it, I don't want to be solving it without looking at the line references. So line references are pivotal. Third paragraph of passage 1 primarily serves to explain what. So this is going to be a function question, something that I want to pay attention to. So from 30 to 39, this last paragraph, and we have a function question for question 32. Now, we've mapped out what we're asked. Now we have ideas where to focus, where to speed up. Now, let's read.